Yes, everybody, we are back with a review of what we've just seen there from Manchester United, turning it round after being 2-0 down just at half-time and managing to score all three goals. Actually, towards the end, I thought we might even need 4 goals the way it was going. So much overreaction to when the game was 2-0. I was absolutely devastated. It honestly felt in the last week like the tide has turned. The chat is members only. You will be able to leave a comment after the video. I just can't be arsed with the just constant abuse, so it's going to be members. Did it earlier in the week. Thought it was a great video, great conversation with those who are members. Kept it civil, and I appreciate that. We've also got the match day thread going on the Discord as well. So if you're a Patreon, head over to the Discord channel. There's a couple of ways for you to get in the mix with this, but we're going to keep the bell ends out, and it's just going to be sensible, regular people. All right, happy days. Right then. So yeah, I did believe that. I thought the tide had turned a little bit for Ollie in the week, and at 2-0, it really did feel like it was turning in a bad way, and I felt like this result, coupled with what's probably going to happen when it comes to the Liverpool game, which is going to be a hell of a game for us at weekend, is probably the end for Ollie. There was definitely a different feeling in the air this week. I don't think it was quite Anfield under Jose, where it was so obvious that the players would not turn around for him, the players would not fight for him, and I think that proved to be the case tonight as we saw the players actually dig in second half, put a shift in. I think the reason we were 2-0 down was just pure shit defending from individuals, and I thought that we boxed that off a little bit in the second half. Luckily, we managed to get a grip and actually attack, and I hope that this gives Ollie a lesson. Manchester United are a front foot team. Manchester United are a team that can hurt people. I wonder if he's been hurt a couple of times managing himself, where we've probably... Something that I think could stick in his head is maybe that Spurs game last season where we got a bit of a pasting, a lot of a pasting. And I wonder since then, has he been a little soft and a little bit almost cowardly with how he's approached some matches. This is Manchester United, and you have to take teams on. You have to look at the threats that we've got in the team, and they are good. The attacking threats that United have got are the envy of almost everyone outside of PSG. I think everyone would probably agree with that. And we're able to go and take on almost anybody and put some chances away. And I think the second half shown what Manchester United need to be about. Forget anything else. Forget keeping it tight. We couldn't keep a clean sheet if you fucking paid us at the moment. So let's just absolutely go for it. Go for it. Every single team that comes, take the game to them. Attack them from the first minute. Because that's what United are about. You'll push teams back by doing that. And I know the reason why we play 4-2-3-1 is because we're trying to mitigate how attacking we are at times, and we can't keep a clean sheet even with the 4-2-3-1. So maybe it is time to throw caution to the wind a little bit and actually start rocking and rolling it. I'm going to come to the question soon, but just giving my thoughts on the game. Me and Ronaldo spent a long time today watching different clips and different highlights and looking at some of the data and the match reports from what Liverpool have been doing as we try and come up with a way for us to get at Liverpool. Manchester United will score against Liverpool this weekend. The issue is, I think Liverpool will score against United this weekend as well. And it's how we figure out which one we take the most advantage of and which one we choose to mitigate. United need to slow down the chance creation of Liverpool, but we also need to really go for it ourselves. Marcus Rashford has to play. Basically, the way you beat Liverpool is to attack them down their right, our left, and get in behind them. There's only Marcus Rashford that makes those runs. So we've looked into that a lot. Atalanta, I've seen so many people just talking about who are Atalanta. Well, Atalanta have been quietly smashing it in Italy for a while, to be honest. And Gasparini's got them playing some sensational football with, essentially not many big players in the mixer. So it's admirable what he's doing. United did well to overcome that there, because I thought there was a time you're going to get overrun in midfield, and we kind of just bypassed it and just went for it. Let's get into some of these questions. Because there's not really much else to say, is there? It was poor defending, absolutely shocking individual mistakes. This is what makes me laugh about all of the people who try and dismiss what Ollie's done. And to be honest, I don't know how much he's done tonight. But when they dismiss what he's done and say it's individual brilliance, but they put all of the blame on him for individual mistakes. If you're an advocate of individual brilliance, you have to be an advocate of individual mistakes. That's just fair, isn't it, right? I don't think there's a big systematic way that Manchester United play, but I think the one thing that we can do is we can just have it with teams. Right, I'm going to come to Discord first because there was a question earlier on. Let me just find it. And it was some cunt in Finland, and he says, here's a question. How long do we continue playing Mason for himself before he gets dropped for Sancho at right wing? I would have dropped him for tonight's game, and he wouldn't be playing at the weekend for me either, because I think you've really got to have more of a team about you to beat Liverpool. So I would be doing it already. Whether Ollie will or not, I don't know. There's an interesting thought about this. A lot of coaches, and this could be a criticism of McKenna perhaps, a lot of coaches want to leave their own legacy somewhere. If Kieran McKenna's legacy could be Mason Greenwood, so he might be putting him into the team a little bit more. He might not be, I might have just completely come up with that all on my own, but it's a possibility, I believe, isn't it? Ross Murphy says, why do United do this? That makes it interesting, doesn't it? Rebecca says, honestly, what did we just watch? Oliver Edwards says, Viva Ronaldo. Paul Makin, Ethan and Matthew, welcome to the channel, as well as Arjan. Alex says, being a United fan is bad for your health, but I love it. And Ross says, great comeback again. We can't keep doing this. No clean sheet and conceded from yet another set piece. That set piece coach needs to actually come into work, I think, doesn't he? And start putting some stuff. Not saying, I see that fan chasing after Ronnie. No. How spot on with a substitution, says Rowe. Well, yeah, you're going to have to get... I mean, here's the thing. People can't give Ollie any credit whatsoever. The substitutions were good. I still would have started Pogba from the off, though. Simo says, is that the momentum we need to take on the Scousers this weekend? You're going to need a bit more than that. You're going to have to defend a lot better than we have done as well, because they're a threat at set pieces and they're a threat in open play. Inferno, how many generations before we keep our next clean sheet? If we manage to keep one at weekend, that we've done well. And if we keep a clean sheet at weekend, we've also won. I'm sure of that. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I've had a minging cold all week. Great comeback on Champions League night. It's what United do, says Alex. Yeah, lesson needs to be put. Sancho on the right, Rashford on the left. Yep. Bruno dropped back in the game turned. We need to see a momentum team. Ross says 4-2-3-1 isn't working. We need to change something. Oh, it's just refreshed them all. Sorry. I tweeted just a lot of all of Atlanta's team were European, were at the Euros, not a team of nobodies. No, I don't think they are a team of nobodies. I'm literally seeing comments from people all over the show saying just a team of absolutely nobody. No, I know it's not the case. I think some of them are absolutely class. Vanessa, so glad to see Rashford start today. Ronaldo absolutely immense. We talk about Marcus actually for a minute. Marcus was so sharp today. I was talking in the matchday chat on the Discord, and when he went off, I was like, don't like this. Who's going to run in from behind? And it was only a few minutes when, after that, he actually brought Sancho on, and we didn't really get Sancho running in behind, but he was running at people with the ball, which is something that we definitely need to do. When are people going to jump on the shit show that is our defence, says Dean. Ali can't be held responsible for Lindelof, who did this under Jose. Interesting, wasn't it? Do you see late on in the second half when Zapata rolled Lindelof? Lindelof against any sort of physical player does that all the time. That's the frailty in him. This is why people... I can't even answer the question to you, lads. When people say, why can't Lindelof play as a number 6? That's why. Because he's just going to get spun by people like that. People go, Fred gets spun. Yeah, but Fred also presses like a demon. And for all his shit ball playing and shit finishing abilities, him running around like a demon, at least there's something Ollie wants to see in him like that. Notch says, do I think that the wide attacking players can see how much more effective we can be when they keep their width? There was a bit more width tonight, wasn't there? Especially from Marcus. Like, especially running in between. Marcus is really effective running in between the gaps, in between the fullback and the centre half. And that, for me, is the space that you have to try and exploit. Rare do you split two centre halves. That's really hard to do. But you can get in between the fullback and centre halves quite often. Salah versus Luke Shaw is not something I'm looking forward to. Not in this form. Luke Shaw slipped back a good 12-month or more in his form lately, I believe. Can we appreciate Maguire's goal after the abysmal game at Leicester? I mean, Arjan, he didn't have a great game today outside of the goal, but it might do his confidence a lot of good, which is good going into the Liverpool game, isn't it? That he's managed to do that. He got himself in a decent position. Wasn't the greatest finish anyone's ever seen, but they all count, and that one definitely counted. Marcus could have had a hat-trick, missed too many good opportunities. What needs to change to make us finish better? You've got to remember, he's not played for a bit. Could be something in that. Maguire, Bruno, Shaw, not 100%, maybe 60. Yeah, could see that one. Hostad says we need Ashley Young to pocket Salah. Rashford playing like a kid on the playground's been locked inside for 3 months, says Alex. Yeah, I could see a lot of that, in all honesty. Looking forward to seeing Rashford, Ronaldo, Sancho for a full 90. Oof, yeah, I like that. Joseph with a super chat says Pogba played like he had something to prove. Pogba came on and looked very sharp, didn't he? John, welcome to supporting the channel. Yeah, Pogba looked decent. Again, I don't think Ollie will play with Sancho and Rashford at weekend. I think he'll play Pogba on the left and Marcus on the right. I don't know why. I think he will. Would I like to see a back three against Liverpool? Now, this is interesting. Trent's scared already with how Rashi's come back. Trent should be scared because he was shit the other night defensively. And also against Manchester City as well. He absolutely should be. I think Paul Making's question there about asking about the back three. A back three is something interesting. So that was where I sort of finished up today before I went home. I was looking at how Liverpool have done previously against back threes. Obviously, that's what Atletico Madrid set up. Now, that was interesting for me because Atletico Madrid are almost a quintessential 4-4-2 low block counter-attacking side. So I found it very interesting. Diego Simeone went with a back three against them. Vinay says that Cavani is a workhorse. Cavani might not be a bad option, but the problem is, politically, Ronaldo's never starting off the bench. And people go, well, he did against Everton. Yeah, and it better don't happen again. I actually think that a back three might be the solution against Liverpool. Because if you play a back three against Liverpool, you can go man for man against their three forwards. You leave your full-backs to deal with their full-backs or your wing-backs to deal with their wing-backs. And you're going to have someone like McTominay maybe to drop in. And that will give you +1 in defence, which is what you need to have. And it'll also be able to throw in a little bit of height there, whether it's Matic or McTominay that you're able to put in there. And then that could leave you with probably 3 out-and-out attacking players that you can just leave high to deal with their midfield and their back two, which I think would probably work. A back three of Maguire, Lindelof, and Baye or Wan-Bissaka in it instead. I actually think against Liverpool, Lindelof's not the worst option because they're not very physical, they're technical. So they're not going to come up and try and spin you. They're not going to try and bully you. They're going to use quick movement in and around and look to try and get in behind you and stuff like that. And he's actually not the worst at doing that. And I think Wan-Bissaka up against someone like Mane. And then that gives you the option to be Shaw on the left. It might be Delo. You might throw a curveball in and do something like Lingard, right wing back, or something crazy like that, which I don't think is the worst idea. Would I expect a counter-attacking approach against Liverpool, or can we afford to be adventurous? This is where I'm stuck. So, as I said at the start of the show, Manchester United are a front foot team. It suits us. Getting people forward like that is what we're about, and that's when we perform best. The problem is, Liverpool look bloody good at the moment, and Salah's in some mad purple patch of form where, he's scoring goals he has no right to score. So, think you'd have to do counter against them. But counter is enough against them, to be honest. I think you could do it. Would Sancho be a crazy shout at right wing back? I don't think Sancho works as hard as Jesse, Alex. Will the league be sewn up in March or April? Fucking hell, relax. Seeing as how there's no transfer window for coaches, should Ollie look to sign more defensive coaches? Set piece coach haven't done a whole lot. No harm in strengthening the management. Yeah, I see what you mean. From what I hear from the players, they're all very happy with training. So, and I was chatting to someone about this today, and I said, what would be really nice is if we actually brought someone in that was from a current elite manager. You know, we might have people coming in from the Fergie days, but do the Fergie days really, you know, has football moved on a bit too technically since then, where maybe you need someone to go, actually, this is what they're doing at the moment at, you know, Chelsea or City or even the Scousers or something like that. A couple of questions in Discord there about the back three. 4-4-2 Diamonds get Bruno, Pogba, Rashford and Ronaldo in the same team against the Scousers. I don't think you can play 4-4-2 against them, in all honesty. However, that's a seriously ballsy manoeuvre, because what you'll be doing is essentially, if you played... I'm trying to see how you've done this. So you're saying Rashford and Ronaldo as your forward two. I could roll with that. Bruno and Pogba. Yeah, that might... It might work, but it also might be incredibly ballsy and incredibly risky. But it might work. The reason it might work is essentially what you're going to do is you're going to overload them. Fucking hell, that's ballsy. Here's why it's ballsy. What you're going to do, if you look at the shape that Liverpool make in possession, they only leave two back. And that would be the two centre-halves. They then usually make a three sort of across the middle of Fabinho and the two fullbacks, but the fullbacks can generally push into the line where the eights are. So you're looking at maybe a 6 and then a line of 4 with fullback, 8, fullback, and then the forward 3. And the forward 3 will sometimes become a 2 with a deep line 9 almost, but that's their shape. Now if you leave maybe Bruno and Fabinho, and then you leave Rashford and Ronaldo on the two centre-halves, you would cut out a lot of the way they like to hold possession. I'm just trying to think, who do you get free in the centre? You're looking to try and free up... You're going to have to try and free up Pogba to get on the ball, to be able to play the ball to the left-hand side of Matip, probably. That could work. That could work. That could work. I'd love to see us try that. Hell ballsy, though. Phosphorus Haven's got a super chat. Take care and get rested. I think you can probably hear my cold coming through now, doesn't it? So maybe, yeah. The problem... Here's the problem, though. I think that's how we do it with the front foot. The problem if you do that, though, is you're going to be defending then with McTominay and Fred and your back four. And they will overload you. They will overload you with their 8s. So their 8s, that's a line of 4 with the two fullbacks, and then the forward 3, that's 7 against your 6. You can't be overloaded. That's where they're going to hurt you. Professor says, I think 4-4-2 Diamond, you have to play with Jesse for his work rate, never letting Fabinho rest. Jesse Lingard might be the one that you need to start dealing with, I think, in this instance. Right, I am on my laptop, as you've noticed. I'm at home and I'm getting warning signs pop up already. Let me see what all these are saying. Looks like it's skipping frames all over the show. Hopefully it's not too bad for you guys watching. Let me know in the comments if it has been or not. I don't usually come on off my laptop. But cheers for tuning in. 5 things will be out as usual in the morning, and then we'll have the Liverpool preview to look forward to. But nice one, lads. Hope you all enjoyed the win, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Laters.